I'm Hayley and today I'm going to be giving you some gardening tips. So this is my greenhouse. I've only had this for a couple of weeks and so far the plants have been doing really well. So I would recommend to build your own greenhouse because this has been so great for me. The plants really love it in here because it's so warm. So one thing I definitely recommend is to invest in a worm farm. Worm farms are so good. They give you so much compost. This is new compost, but this compost is from a couple of weeks ago, and see how well it's doing. It's broken down so much. The worms just love it in there. And I would also recommend to get one that gives you liquid fertilizer as well, because the plants just love that so much. It makes them grow so quickly and so much healthier. So that's one thing I would definitely recommend. The cost of that, this worm farm was $20, but you have to buy the worms, and I would say get a tumbleweed mat as well, because that keeps all the smell out and everything. So I got all this from Bunnings and it was about $50 all up, and it's worked so well. It saved me so much money. So definitely get one of those. With new plants that you've grown from either seeds or cuttings, I always put little lids, like plastic lids, over the top, because that keeps all the heat in for new plants, and they need that when you put them into big pots and hydroponic systems like this. When they're in small containers like that, they don't need to be in, like, they don't need to have that much heat, but it's just because this is so big and it gets so much air in it, and it would just like make the plants so cold that they would just die straight away. So definitely put plastic lids over all of your new plants, even if it's just like getting a bottle and cutting the bottom off of it. But that is a must for new plants. One thing that I do every couple of days is I get a little fork or shovel, whatever you want to call that, and then you just sort of dig little holes into your big pots or hydroponic systems, and this just allows a bit more air to get into it and get to the roots. Otherwise they're just gonna like drown in all of this water and fertilizer that you're putting into it. So definitely put holes in there. So this will help your plants grow so much better. Otherwise, so you'll find that if you don't do that, they'll just shrivel up and die after maybe a few weeks or so. So yeah, definitely put lots of holes in the ground. Another great thing that plants love is this liquid gold, what I'd call it. It's just, I put containers underneath my pots and catch all this water every time I water it. Rather than using fresh water all the time, they love to get all this nutrients out of this water, because I also have a small worm farm in here. This is a pot that I've made myself, and the water that you put through it catches all that nutrients from the worms, and the plants just thrive on that. They love it so much. So I would say that is definitely a must if you want healthy plants. If you're building your own greenhouse, I would say put a cane door on it like this, because see how it has all these little holes in it? It allows the air to get through. You don't want your plants to be trapped in this little small space with no air in it. And it's the exact same small hothouse. This is for growing seeds, and if you're working in the garden, I would say to open up the top if you're working up there for a long time, and when you go back inside, like overnight and stuff, you just close the top, because that's the whole point of the hothouse. You need to keep that heat in there, and because seedlings, they need heat. I make my own seedlings sometimes, and you have to dry them out. Otherwise, if you just plant them in fresh, they take so long to grow, and the heat just makes them grow so much faster. If you want to grow your seedlings, I would recommend to get the fresh seeds from plants like tomato plants. Just get the fresh seeds and put them in some like black plastic and put it in a place where it gets lots of sun until it dries out so much, and then just plant it probably maybe a centimetre deep and really water it in, and that'll make it grow really fast rather than planting them fresh. That'll take ages to grow. So definitely open up the hothouse, but not for too long. You want the air in there, but you want it to be hot. So always make sure that is shut before you go back inside. I like to grow my own plants, like to grow them from seeds or grow them from cuttings, because there's no point going and buying plants, just wasting money on that, when you can just make your own, and it's so much easier and so much nicer, and you have the joy of knowing that you've grown your own plants from scratch. And another easy way to grow plants is from cuttings. This is one that I've cut today from this tomato plant. This is a beefsteak tomato, and always when you cut the plant, make sure that it's got this new growth on it, because that means it has lots of nutrients in it. And you want to put it in a pot or a bucket with water in it, and make sure it has no holes in the bottom. And I just got these little black pots from Bunnings, and this has got small, it's not fertilizer, but it's just to give some air, so it's not just drowning in water. You want it to have air as well, so it can grow roots really easy. And you can also buy that from Bunnings, and it's about $5. It makes roots grow really fast and really healthy, and they're not crammed together. And so that will take about 2 weeks to actually start to grow roots. If you have a lid, that's great, but I didn't have a lid for this bucket, so I just put some cling wrap over the top. And cuttings also need the humidity, that heat in there, to make them grow really well. These basil plants, they're from cuttings that I grew myself from these little basil plants over here, and they took about a week and a half to actually grow roots. But then I went through the whole process of planting them in a small container like this, and they didn't take long to actually grow like really tall. And then when I planted them in here, I needed to have this over the top just for a little while. I would say a couple of weeks, like 1 or 2 weeks, but just keep an eye on it, because they only took a few days and they didn't need to have it on there for that long. But these are oregano cuttings, and they're not growing so fast, so I'm going to keep those on there. They've only been on there for a couple of days. I'll keep those on there for a couple of weeks and we'll see how they go. But yeah, growing cuttings is really easy if you have all the right tools and all the right stuff. And last but not least, your plants. Everything needs a lot of TLC. Even though plants don't need a lot of water, most plants like to be at least moist. So try and come out here every day and just give them a spray, just with a bottle. And I do this a couple of times a day, like in the morning and in the afternoons, when like during after school hours. And they just love this. Like if you don't have a greenhouse, I wouldn't spray them in the middle of the day, because obviously these little water particles, they're going to heat up and they're going to just burn your plants, and they're just going to die straight away. So either do it in the mornings or the afternoons, or both is great. but definitely not in the middle of the day if you don't have a greenhouse. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it's given you enough information to go off and start a nice healthy garden. If you have any questions at all about greenhouses or starting your own garden, please just leave me a message below and I'll try and get back to you. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Please subscribe. Bye.